Okay, hi. This is Sanjay Mahapatra, editor Enterprise Channels magazine, and I'm speaking to Florian, who has flown in from France to attend this expo, and I'm speaking to about what has been the changes for last 6 to 7 months, because the last time we met in Jaisek. Florian, my first question: so many things have happened in the background. Dell security. How do you see the strategy and plans now?
So the strategy from a Dell security point of view, we carry on with, obviously connecting some of our, product together or technologies together. So just as a quick reminder, we protect at the data level, at the user level, at the network level, and we have services that can help our customers managing, everything or part of their overall IT security infrastructure. So, the um, indeed, we've released, firmware releases. We introduced new form factor firewall with upgrading our and refreshing our TZ series on the network security side. Actually, we are making some announcement tomorrow at Dell World from a network security point of view, from a data point of view, from our data protection point of view, sorry, with our identity and access management product line, as well as on the service side. So, you will see these announcements tomorrow. And really what we are doing is, using the different bricks that we have within the Dell security portfolio to meet our customer requirements. One another thing I'm happy to share with you today is we have our Dell Data Protection Encryption Cloud Service, which means users can upload files in, Box or Dropbox type of applications. Great. We are basically uploading corporate document in a public environment. So one thing customers can do is using our Dell Data Protection Encryption Cloud Service product. So then these files get obviously encrypted before being uploaded onto these two applications. Now, you are a user, you sit on the network. What device sees all of the inbound and outbound traffic? A firewall, or a next generation firewall rather. Obviously within the Dell security portfolio we have next generation firewall. So one thing we are working on is integrating our Dell Data Protection Encryption Cloud Service with our next generation firewall, so that if a specific user has the right to access a specific file, and that can be policied with our identity and access management products. So if if that user has the right to access that specific file, upload it onto Box or Dropbox and other type of applications, then our firewall will be able to understand whether that specific file has to be encrypted by policy, and if it's not, block the upload or force the encryption with our Dell Data Protection Encryption product. And if that file was encrypted with a different encryption solution that is not the Dell Data Protection Encryption, again, the firewall will block it. And then I'm going to extend that conversation to other products. So you see, all the different blocks that can help customers with that specific use case. I already mentioned next generation firewall, already mentioned Dell Data Protection Encryption Cloud Service. I refer to identity and access management. Now, obviously, a vast majority of our users are mobile users. They are connecting to the network from a remote locations. So we have our secure mobile access platform. So in that scenario, the user would be sitting at home, in a hotel or what have you, connecting to the network through our SSL VPN gateway, uploading a file onto Box or Dropbox. Well, the same policies would apply, of course. And part of the portfolio again, from a cloud or web-based application point of view, we have Cloud Access Manager. So Cloud Access Manager is basically a single sign-on, federation platform. So again, since we support single sign-on, that specific user who is connecting to the network either on-premise or through our secure mobile access platform, will be able to access Box or Dropbox just at a click of a button, because we support single sign-on. That specific user would not need to re-authenticate to Box or Dropbox or whatever it might be. Very good. And again, a lot of the attacks, a lot of the breaches are happening because of the endpoint vulnerabilities or vulnerabilities on the endpoint. So if a customer wants basically to avoid or to manage better their endpoint systems and avoid these potential risks associated with vulnerabilities, then indeed we have our Dell case solution. So where you can do all of the endpoint system management. And obviously the customer requirements might move on to mobile devices. Well, hey, obviously I've got a specific group of users who will be able to access confidential data or corporate data, and these data will be physically downloaded onto a device, whatever that device might be, either a Windows laptop, Dell laptop, a tablet, or a smartphone. Well, again, to protect data at rest on these mobile devices, we have Dell Mobile Workspace, which is, in other words, a container that will support iOS environment, Android environments, and Windows environments. And so the great thing that Dell has from a product and solution point of view is based on the customer requirement today, we have something, and as those requirements evolve both from a user perspective and therefore from a security perspective, we can meet and help customers securing their environment, but at the same time enabling the users.
All right, it's a very long description and exhaustive, and you completed everything a single go. And you decoded entire Dell software.
So it's Dell security portfolio here. So, and then indeed, if you look at the overall Dell product range, from end user computing to the enterprise group with networking, storage, servers, indeed, security is everywhere. So that's where, for example, with some of our Dell data protection, products like Dell Protected Workspace, whereby we have some sandbox client sandboxing anti-malware type solution for Windows environment, of course. But then customers, deploying on-premise infrastructure, or for some of the cloud, providers, where they will be obviously, building up the infrastructure and so on and so forth. So servers, networking, storage, all of this needs to be protected. And indeed, from an end-to-end solution point of view, we have the next generation firewall that will be front-ending all of these infrastructures to prevent bad guys coming in.
So we are not seeing new product being launched in this expo. Are you planning to bring in new products sometime in 2 days?
So yes, Sanjay, actually, there is Dell World this week happening in parallel. So that's where we bring, it's a big event on the Dell side in the US, bringing, our customers and partners to that event. And from a security point of view, actually tomorrow on the 21st, we are announcing some new solutions and products and features from the security point of view. So I'm going to go through these. Because the list is actually quite long, but from a data protection, we are announcing 3 new products. One is Cloud Edition 2.0, where we are going to support, Dropbox, Box, but as well Microsoft and the Google equivalent applications. We are obviously as well announcing Dell Data Protection Endpoint Recovery, so for instantaneous backup. So if you lose a device, or your device, or you're a victim of a ransomware, where the hackers will ask you X amount of dirhams, dollars, euro, GBP, whatever that might be per device. Well, actually, the customer will be able to say, I don't really care because that data has been backed up. And then as well on the data side, data protection side, we are announcing a encryption solution for Windows servers. Okay. On the service side, we are announcing 2 new services. One is about kind of online self-forensic type of service for Amazon Web Services. So this is a service from SecureWorks, and another service from the Dell IT Security Service team is a vulnerability assessment service for critical application that customers might be running in their environment. From an identity and access management point of view, we already spoke about Cloud Access Manager. So we are announcing a new firmware release, and in that new firmware release, we are adding basically not single sign-on, sorry. We are adding a two-factor authentication solution called Defender that we already have on our portfolio, available as a service. So if any of our existing customers or new customers would like to basically, reinforce at the authentication level, then they can do that with our Defender as a service. Part of Cloud Access Manager, we have as well what we call the Security Analytic Engine. So this is a feature that basically will score and evaluate the potential risk of a user based on the location and so on and so forth. So we always refer to awareness security. So that's what the security engine is about. So depending on who you are and the location you're from, your profile will be analyzed and will give you a scoring, and depending on the scoring you could have access to some application or not. To finish on the announcement side, which will happen tomorrow, there's three things more on the network security side of things. The first one is we have a new firmware release of our email security anti-spam solution, where basically we are adding a fourth antivirus engine. So that means today, customers using or future customers using our email security product will benefit from 4 different layers of antivirus. Our homegrown Dell Software AV, the Intel Security McAfee AV, the Kaspersky AV, and the new one that we are adding, the Siren AV. So Siren, C-Y-R-E-N, is a company that is into the email and web security business, and we are basically using their AV on our email security gateway. The second one, and again, this is very interesting from a pan-Dell point of view. Dell introduced back in April, May time, a new switch series called the X series, which is, a switch for SMB type of organization or SMB type of deployments. Well, guess what? We have next generation firewall. So what we are introducing sometime early next year, in 2016, is customers from our firewalls will be able to manage the switch. So from the firewall management console, and we will start with our TZ series, customers will be able to manage the X series. In addition to that as well, and we've done this for many years already, is customers will be able to manage our wireless access points. So think about it, if you're an SMB, from one single device or one single management console, which is the next generation firewall console, you manage not only the firewall, the switch, and your access points. Okay? So that means from a security point of view, you are eliminating any potential gaps, but as well from a day-to-day ongoing management, you are saving money and you're saving time, therefore money, because it's all done from one place. And the last announcement that we are bringing to Dell World tomorrow on the 21st, well, because of the time difference, is we will be launching our advanced persistent threat service that will be available on our next generation firewall series, as well as our email security. So basically this is going to be a sandboxing cloud-based service that will be available both on our next generation firewall as well as on our email security. So as you can see, at GITEX and Dell World, so it's going to be at Dell World later on today and tomorrow at GITEX, we are basically announcing quite, again, a broad portfolio of new firmware or new services on a security standpoint, from a service point of view, at the data level, at the user level, and at the network security level. And indeed, constantly improving the overall efficiency of our network security products with the sandboxing service that will be available sometime during 2016.
Do you have time now? This time what I'm marking on your face is that you are pretty relaxed, but at the same time you look very confident. Is it that you see that one competition minus, or Why are you so relaxed and so confident?
Oh yeah, well, I don't know why I'm relaxed because I always enjoy my conversation with you. But I mean, it's today IT security is obviously a key requirement for organization. Indeed, large organizations understands the challenge of IT security because there's one equation you have to resolve is we have to move on. We have to adopt all of these new technologies, whether being mobility, we talked about it for quite some time now, cloud and so on and so forth. I mean, the IoT is coming more and more of a trend. IoT is not new, but obviously because of the consumer side of the industry, IoT and how to secure IoT or the machine-to-machine of environments becomes more prevalent. Okay, but enterprise organizations have the right team, have the knowledge, and so on and so forth. Of course, if you are more of a smaller type of organization or a mid-sized organization, these companies are consuming technology as much as these large organizations, to the exception that from an IT security point of view, they might not have the knowledge, or they might not have all of the knowledge, they might not have all of the necessary budget, and so on and so forth. And this is where, these organizations needs to understand that, while they're embracing, all of these new tools and technologies, the pitfall is security. And whether you're an SMB, a mid-sized organization, or a very large organization, you own intellectual property, whatever that might be. Therefore, you need to lay the right security products, the right security solutions, work very closely with your IT security partner. And maybe the reason why I feel confident or relaxed, I don't know, but I have to say that Dell, from a security point of view, has many of these different components that is required for an SMB organization, a mid-sized organization, a large enterprise organization, or even a public organization, whatever that might be, to do two things. Enable the organization, enable the business, while ensuring high level of security. So then they can move forward and look into the future rather than standing still.
If you look at the market, from the technology perspective, lots of disruptive technology are coming up, and startups are actually changing everything. Now, apart from the UTM, the features you have, people are there in small in size, very affordable, and describing the equation. That's of course a challenge for you, challenge for the large organizations. So that is the reason lot many different things are happening worldwide, acquisition and mergers. So you must be feeling the heat from the disruptive technologies and startups. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, we live in a world where innovation happens every minute, every second, all the time. So of course, from a security point of view, there will always be new technologies coming up, startup coming up, and we need this because at the end of the day, when there is a new something, it has to be secure. I mean, I think Jitech's motto this year is, everywhere connectivity, or the internet of connectivity, whatever it is. And it's true, today everybody's carrying a smartphone, a tablet, a laptop, or a smartwatch, or whatever that might be. We have all these IoT sensors and so on and so forth, and therefore the new requirements are coming along. And yeah, we see startups, but from a Dell point of view, we are, for example, embracing the IoT. We have a new, well, I don't know how new it is, but we have a division that has been specifically put together to better serve, IoT requirements from our customers. So, but at the end of the day, again, we need to think about what customers do. What do? They are basically consolidating the number of strategic vendors that they have. And that's a very solid trend that we've seen over the last couple of years. And indeed, these new startups are coming up. They're raising market awareness. They are acquiring some key market customers. And depending on how their business goes, well, they either get public or they get acquired. And that's this has been happening for the last 30 years or so, or 25 years or so. And that's not going to change because because the world we live in is constantly evolving. So indeed, something new is coming up. From a security point of view, we'll have to, secure it. So either, vendors like Dell, will bring the right product, or, along the line, might acquire some technologies or whatever you, like Dell has been doing over the last 4 years. So for us, it's great indeed. And I would say, if you look at Dell's position today in the security market from a security point of view, we are, becoming a very unique player with all the different bricks and solutions that we have.
Last question.
Sure.
Maybe very quickly we can finish it because I have consumed so much of your time.
My pleasure. Sure.
So last one is, geographically, every year there is some change. You are either expanding or shrinking in terms of your strategy. So I heard that there has been an addition of different geography to this region. I mean, in terms of focus. So can you take us a little bit? I mean, tell me a little bit about your geography specific or country specific strategy. How are you realigning it this time?
Okay, so that's more on the. I can't really comment because that's more of an overall Dell. Middle East and Africa and Turkey. They've changed some organizations, so I cannot really comment. From a security point of view, we have operation wherever Dell has operations, and it's true to say that the Middle East is definitely a rapid market, a quick growth market for sure. I had the pleasure and the honor to attend GITEX since 2007 now, so I've been doing it for 8 years now, and it's true. Why? Because of the industry, or because the status of the region from an infrastructure point of view. A lot of work has happened, and there's still a lot of investment coming to the Middle East anyhow, and especially here in the UAE and Dubai, as the platform for organization to reach to the Gulf countries, or to some countries maybe a bit further east, or to Africa. So obviously Dell and Dell Security has a strong presence here to serve these markets, and we're going to keep on for many years.
All right. Thank you very much. Pleasure meeting with you.
Sanjay, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.